I'm Matt Delaney, I'm Managing Director of the Great Outdoor Gym Company. I'm down on a site today that a company has put in who claims to have the EN 1176 European Playground Safety Standard throughout its entire range. We're going to be looking at crush points, we're going to be looking at shear points, and we're going to be looking at dangerous pendulum swings that could cause some very serious and significant injury to not only the user, but also people around the equipment as well. You can clearly see from the pendulum swinging behind that you would not want to be standing next to that pendulum when it swings past and potentially hits someone on the other side, causing some serious injury.
My main concern on this particular item of equipment is the introduction of the free swinging pendulum action with no restriction on it. If the opposing person is to slip off the equipment and put their leg through there, again, it is only going to have one result. The gap closes to less than 12.5 millimetres, which under the EN 1176 creates a crush, which would be breaking bones, particularly of a hand as that arm comes up to it.
You will see here an example, quite shockingly, of a full body crush.
This is just a demonstration of a known problem with a head injury of scalping.
This particular piece of equipment is probably as bad as it gets. It is incredibly unsafe. In use, this swinging pendulum is not only going to potentially hit someone standing in front of the equipment, it's also going to swing back, hit someone behind the equipment potentially as well. Whether it's in normal use or whether it's children messing around on it, it's going to swing through and it's going to really hurt someone who's holding this the other end, and it's only going to end in tears. An arm coming through there would clearly be crushed between the post and the swinging pendulum. Similarly, with a leg coming through, would be crushed quite significantly. And the user using the equipment as well could be on the equipment, it could be going forward, and slip down, and this is just going to come back and smash right into someone's shin. This particular cross trainer, not only is it too small to really be effectively used by a fully grown adult, there are many health and safety problems with this that would make this not compliant to EN 1176 or EN 957. For example, there's a huge head and neck entrapment here for a start. The user could be on this and fall into that entrapment. There's flailing arms and legs at the back and behind, which when the user's on the equipment, they would never know someone's coming behind and could potentially be crushed. But probably more worryingly is that when you're on this particular piece of equipment, you know, people do stand on here, because I can see footmarks on here to get onto it, and they can easily slip. And as you slip, this particular leg can easily come round and just crush you in the shin, as I'm showing here. As you can see, this has a huge head and neck entrapment here, doesn't pass the probe test by some considerable distance, and also these particular probes obviously pass straight through, causing serious torso entrapment. I've got an EN 1176 finger probe here, which shouldn't go into any of these pieces here, but as you can clearly see, it does. Not only that, but once the finger entrapment is in, as the equipment comes up, it locks it in, causing potentially serious damage to a finger.
Yeah. So a more concerning opening on this one is the hole underneath on this point, which does allow a finger probe in a full depth of 100 millimetres. More concerning on that is that then gives access to the bent finger to a very serious crush, which I should just demonstrate here carefully. Okay, the design of this piece has been improved in recent months, but has actually led to a moving crush. Again, 12.5 millimetres. And if this is actually demonstrated in a loaded position.
The sign behind me clearly shows that the equipment at this site isn't designed for people under 14 years of age. In fact, they even put a sign up warning people of that. However, when we turned up here today, because it's an unmanaged open access site, there were primary school aged children all over the equipment, using it in a very dangerous way, potentially causing themselves harm on some of this very dangerous equipment.